So how this might look in a system. So I've got my various developers, only 3 in this case, but imagine there could be hundreds. They're all checking in code to a Subversion server, and then we get a build kicked off, we run some tests, and then we actually, at this point here, they're accessible, and then you can actually see, oh, this test passed, this test failed, etc., etc. So this is what people are doing today, and it's very effective. But we want to think about how we can integrate formal methods into this whole process. So there's no reason why in the future, or maybe people are doing this already, I don't know, that you couldn't have a model checker in there as well. You can have a theorem prover and some analysis tools. So every time you check something in, you do a build, you kick off some formal tests, if you like, as well, to kind of give you that extra safety net. So I believe you can combine continuous integration with formal methods. But what we need really to make this happen is the tools have to be faster, because you're not going to wait half a day for some verification conditions to be discharged. You want it as quickly as possible in quick time. And we would take a lightweight approach anyway, so you wouldn't necessarily formalize everything. You'd have some conditions that you would actually check formally. I think what we need to do as well is look at some multi-core, harnessing multi-core architectures, because like parallel theorem proving is going to be something I think would help in this respect. And something that I'm interested in at the moment is cloud computing. So, I mean, an argument against continuous integration is, or used to be, it's too expensive to actually buy all these machines. But with cloud computing, you pay per time you're using it, and you can just deploy machines on the fly. You don't actually need to buy anything. So if I was doing a computationally intensive verification, then why not be able to deploy 20 servers to do my model checking on? And if I'm distributing the model checking over, I wouldn't potentially have to wait hours to get the results. So on an on-demand system, to actually generate these servers could be the way forward to make formal methods, or to allow them to integrate easier into the continuous integration process. Okay, so far I've talked about Agile, formal methods, and now really I want to talk about the cost of Agile. So on the left here, you'll see this is the usual kind of effort, time, shape you'd expect from a formal methods project. So at the very beginning, we've got a lot of effort, writing specifications and doing some various kind of, say, simulations and proofs. And then as we progress through the project, the effort reduces, and finally the effort is reduced here in terms of in the maintenance stage. So the idea is you have a hit at the beginning in terms of effort, but this pays off in the long run because you don't have to do a load of work on maintenance. And there's good examples of that where software is developed formally, is given a guarantee that there'll be no bugs. So companies wouldn't do that if they didn't have faith in this approach. On the right-hand side, excuse me, we have what an effort time graph would look like, or the shape in XP development. So the spikes that you see here are really the effort in terms of implementing your user stories, if you like. And what we do is, over a period of time, there are different lengths because there'll be different stories that need to be implemented. But over a period of time, this reduces, and then we have down here, when we finished, a drop dead stage going from that effort to zero effort. Okay, so the other approach we talked about was Scrum, and here the spikes here are to do with the sprints. So there's like a period of time, could be 2 weeks or 4 weeks, where you develop your software, and you may do 3 to 8 of these sprints in your whole development of a release. And we don't see a drop dead phase here, but we see the work actually reducing here in the actual maintenance stage. Okay, so DSDM is quite different in its graph, and in this situation, because we have fixed time and fixed resources, basically you have this tapering off right at the end, but it's straight throughout. Okay, so this is I'm not going to go and present an entire survey. There's been a great survey that's been published recently by Jim Woodcock and his colleagues, which I think Leo's going to talk about. But one thing we want to do is to put together an Agile and formal methods survey. Like all good ideas, copied off someone else. But I think there's a lot more information that we could kind of glean from doing such a survey. So I just list some areas that we're interested in. Okay, so just to summarise, I pointed out that Agile does have some drawbacks, but we can overcome these with formal methods. Formal methods will open up other areas for Agile, for example, safety-critical. You could integrate continuous integration with formal methods, harnessing cloud computing. I attempted to dispel some myths about the costs of Agile and formal methods, and also talked about doing a survey. So really the takeaway messages from this talk, I would say, just reading out, formal methods can add value in the Agile domain, acting as a sanity check and safety net. And formal methods will provide you with reliability and insurance, while Agile provides you with flexibility, customer satisfaction, and tangible process. So if you'd like to participate in the survey, then please do drop me an email. Look forward to hearing from you. And just a couple of plugs. There is Formal Methods and Agile 2010 conference coming up. So that's in September, and it's part of SEFM 2010. So I would say look at that website if you're interested, and do submit, although it does reduce the chances of any paper I'm going to write being accepted, but that's not the point. The whole point is the community comes together and gives some interesting examples of where the two can work well together. Finally, just my shameless plug, you may have received a flyer. If you'd like to buy a fantastic book on formal methods, state-of-the-art, new directions, then you get 20% discount today. You'd have to buy it now, but you've got a leaflet and you can send it in. So that concludes my talk.